Lord thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Yeah, anytime you put in, go to Google and put in the word yoke of iron or yoke of iron around your neck, you're not going to see a Chinese guy with a yoke of iron around his neck. You're not going to see a white Russian with a yoke of iron around his neck, all right? You're not going to see a Samoan with a yoke of iron around his neck. You know what you're going to see? You're going to see a black man with a yoke of iron around his neck during the time of slavery, hardcore slavery. Go ahead.
It says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth.
In this case, it's talking about the Romans, because the symbol that they had was the eagle. Now, bringing it up to date, America, NATO, and the EU, that's the Roman Empire all over again. That's the last leg of the Roman Empire. Go ahead. Or the reincarnation of the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
We didn't understand Latin. Just like when we were first brought over here into slavery, our foreparents, we didn't understand English. Go ahead.
It says, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Yeah, key point, Eleanor Bumpers. Eleanor Bumpers was a senior citizen, and some Irish cops went in there and blew her ass away, man, because they said she had a damn butter knife. Now, if it was an Edomite woman up in Scarsdale, do you think they would do that? Hell no, man.
That old man, that cop was pulled over, that state trooper. He kept telling him, look, put that gun down, you know, and the old vet ended up killing the cop because the cop wouldn't shoot his ass. It says, and he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or the flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
Yeah, another thing they did after slavery, they had sharecroppers. And what you would do is you would work for your former slave master, and he would say, if you get this get this much a crop, you're gonna get this much percentage out of it. You get 10% or 15% or 5%. So you would work your ass off from can't see in the morning till can't see at night, and you just knew you were gonna get a whole lot of that crop. And somehow Esau would say, some way or another, he would find a way to say, well, wait a minute, you used my outhouse, and I saw you smoking one of my cigars, and you know how them are Cuban cigars, or whatever the case may be. Right, it was basically like sack days, man, you know? And you would get a fraction of what you deserved. So this man was showing you that he was a fucking devil, man. Go ahead.
And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates until thy high and fenced walls come down.
That's going back to the Roman Empire, which we just read during the reign of Vespasian, Titus's son, and then later Domitian, which was a brother of Titus. Go ahead.
Wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Lord thy power hath given thee. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Lord thy power hath given thee.
That's talking about the Romans cut you off. You know? They put a barrier around you where you couldn't leave Jerusalem and nobody could come in. Food couldn't come in. No help could come in. So you ran out of food. There's accounts where you ate all the leaves off the trees. You ate all the grass. You had no grass to eat. You had no food. You ate the leather boots and or the leather sandals that you wore, the leather belts. You ate all kind of things, and you ran out of that. Then guess what? You had to eat your own. You had to eat your own children, man. But this man is a humanitarian. Go ahead.
In the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress.
This says thy enemies again. This man that ain't never become your friend. Go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. so that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he hath nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter, and toward a young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward the children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy power.
So this right here proves that Moses was in fact a prophet, and he was prophesying. He spoke about the Roman Empire. How many years before it happened? That was during the time of about 1400 BC. So that was about 1400, 1500 years, a little bit more than that, before that actually happened. So those are major prophecies that Moses pushed forth. Go ahead.
It says, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses and of long continuance. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Yeah, AIDS, HIV, which later becomes AIDS. What else? There's all kind of new diseases. There's all kind of new diseases out there that's not written in the scripture. Hemorrhoids is written in the scriptures. You know. Go ahead.
And you shall be left few in number, whereas you were as the stars of heaven for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord thy power. And it shall come to pass that as the Lord rejoice over you to do you good and to multiply you, so the Lord will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And you shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there shalt thou serve other gods which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the soul of thy...
Right. Like I said earlier, your foreparents were sharecroppers down south, and you came, the dream was to come up to the north, because there were good jobs up there. Now guess what Jake is doing? Jake is talking about going down south. Originally my family is from the south, all right? But a big part of my family is from the north. Mostly all of my family from the north went back down south. So that's a curse right there. You left the south to go to the north. Now you're leaving the north to go to the south for blessings. And you're going to get cursed when you get down there. Go ahead.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
Yeah, well, that brings to mind false prophet 666. He was talking about how he got a house and he's doing good and he's being blessed. Well, first of all, you're really not being blessed because you're not sitting on no damn throne, man. You ain't sitting on no throne. You ain't got no crown on your head, and you ain't got no scepter in your hand, and you ain't got no Edomites as slaves. So you ain't blessed, nigga. Go ahead.
Neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee